Say hi, Yoda.
Hi everyone, I'm Yoda. I'm
Cara Whedbee with Simply Magical Vacations by Cara, the newest puppy. Yes, I was adopted today from our local animal shelter. I'm 2 months old and I'm a Shih Tzu, and my parents named me Yoda. And I'm happy to be with my new family. Say hi, Yoda. Hi. This is Yoda, everyone. This is my new puppy. Say hi, buddy. Can you say hi to everybody? Hi. Okay, you can go back with Daddy now.
Say bye Yoda. Bye, bye everybody.
So that's Yoda. That's our new puppy. And I'm Cara Whedbee with Simply Magical Vacations by Cara, your favorite magical vacation specialist. And tonight I'm wearing a birthday present. Yoda was one of my birthday presents, but here is another. It is the brand new Stitch Spirit jersey. And on the back, let me turn. On the back it says, "Living in Paradise." It's really cute. And so my husband got this for me at the Disney store, and they had a deal going where you could get, if you bought this jersey, you could get 50% off any shirt they had on the wall. So he bought himself a shirt, and it was half off. So this is the shirt he got. Isn't that cute? So my birthday present got him a shirt half off at the Disney store. Not too shabby. All right, guys, we have a lot of news tonight. Oh, this is my new hat. It says, if you can read this. Wait, I know Steve is going to like this, Steve, when you're watching. It says, "Thank the Phoenicians" on the back, and it's from the ride Spaceship Earth. So one of my favorite rides at Epcot. It's a classic, and I love this hat because as you're going through the ride, the little narrator lady says, "If you can read this, thank the Phoenicians." So they put it on a hat. So that's my hat tonight. I just got back yesterday from a training for Universal Studios Florida, and I learned a lot of cool stuff, and that's one of the magical destinations I book. So we're going to talk about that. I've also learned a lot about Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, which sails out of Galveston year-round, Texas people. So I've got some info on their new private island to share with you as well. So we have a lot to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and get started. As always, if you have questions, then just put them down here in the comment section, and I will get to it. So hopefully you enjoyed getting to meet my new little doggy, Yoda. He just got neutered yesterday, so he still has stitches, and we have to be really careful with him. It's hard to keep a 2-month-old puppy from jumping, and what else can he not do? Run. He can't jump, run, or lick anything. So that's a fun time keeping a puppy from doing all those things. All right, so first bit of news is, you know how Joffrey's Coffee in Disney Springs has those little art things you can have put on the top of your latte? And they had Mickey and Minnie at first. Well, now they have Goofy and Donald Duck that you can put on top of your next cup of coffee. See, there's Goofy. They also have shamrocks you can get through St. Patrick's Day. So, but anyway, just thought I'd tell you about that. Next bit of news is at Disneyland Paris. They are going to have this new show from March 31st through May 31st of this year, which is called the Festival of the Pirates versus the Princesses. Make your choice. It's a 360-degree show that's going to be featured 4 times a day and has more than 100 performers, including 21 acrobats. There are 2 floats to represent each team that will ride down the parade route in opposite directions. Right now, the stages are being installed in the planters on Central Plaza in order to let the show take place all around the audience. Cool. Next to this, there was a new announcement made about a Jack Sparrow show that will take place 6 times a day on the pirate galleon that lays next to Adventure Isle and Adventureland. Hoist the Flag, Mateys is the name of the show, and it will feature Sparrow looking for new pirates amongst the audience. The princesses will not be on the ship, but in front of the castle in the Princess Promenade act of the show. They will stroll down from Sleeping Beauty Castle to the Central Plaza. The selection of characters includes Elena of Avalor and Sophia the First, known from their Disney Junior series. Then that is what we know about the Pirates and Princesses series at Disneyland Paris, and also the new Jack Sparrow show. So that'll be fun. In food news, All Star Music Resort has introduced a new breakfast sandwich. It is called the All Star Chart Topper Sandwich, and it is now available at Disney's All Star Music Resort. But hurry, only 45 of these sandwiches are made each day. Let me show you what this thing looks like. It is massive. Biscuits, gravy, sausages, hash browns, eggs, cheese, all on one sandwich. And they're only going to make 45 of them a day at the All-Star Music Resort. And it's called the Chart Topper Breakfast Sandwich, if you want to give it a try. Okay, so right now, Typhoon Lagoon has been closed because it's been going through its annual refurbishment since January 7th. And it's going to reopen again on March 18th. Next bit of news, Disneyland has released some concept art for Pixar Pier, which is the new name of the former Paradise Pier. First, King Triton's Carousel will be rethemed to Jesse's Critter Carousel. This, combined with Toy Story Mania, will anchor the Toy Story neighborhood of Paradise Pier, which is going to be Pixar Pier. The carousel will not open with Pixar Pier, but will be a future addition. So here's a picture of it. I don't know if you could tell from this picture, but some of those creatures are snakes. Like, like one of them is a rattlesnake, which to me does not seem comforting. Like, I don't know that I would want to ride that on a carousel, but that's one of the animals. Also in the Toy Story neighborhood, Don Thomas Turkey Legs is going to be rethemed into the Poultry Palace. Then, Spanish mode Buzz Lightyear. Remember in one of the Toy Story movies where Buzz Lightyear, somebody pushed him to the Spanish mode and he wouldn't quit speaking Spanish and, and stuff. So they have Spanish mode Buzz Lightyear hosting a churro cart. There he is. Senor Buzz's Churros. The Incredibles neighborhood will be headlined by the previously announced Incredicoaster, which used to be called California Screamin'. The Scream tunnels will no longer just contain noise, but will include storytelling elements such as Mrs. Incredible trying to grab Jack Jack, which is the theme of the new movie coming out June 15th. Joining Bullseye Stallion Stampede will be 3 new Pixar-themed games of the boardwalk. Casey at the Bat has become Heimlich's Candy Corn Toss, while Dumbo's Bucket Brigade has transformed into Wall-E Space Spin. Finally, Goofy About Fishing is now the new La Luna Star Catcher. The gameplay of each game remains, but the storytelling and prizes have been refreshed. Bing Bong's Sweet Stuff is a new confectionery inspired by the character from Inside Out. Treasures in Paradise is becoming Nick's Knacks. Paradise Pier Ice Cream Company, formerly Ketchup-Flave, is being turned into adorable snowman frosted treats. Yes, it will sell lemon-flavored items. Also from Inside Out is the new Angry Dogs hot dog stand. More info on the Inside Out neighborhood is expected in the future. Pixar Pier opens June 23rd, 2018 in Disneyland. Actually, Disney's California Adventure. There's Angry Dogs. Oh my goodness. All right, so there's the new retheming of some of the different elements in Pixar Pier opening June 23rd at Disneyland. Speaking of, the Cove Bar is becoming the lounge, the Lamp Light Lounge, based on the Pixar lamp, but it's temporarily reopening for a short period of time during the Pixar Fest. So from March 16th, which is today, my birthday, through May 28th, the Cove Bar is going to reopen and will be serving food all the way up until May 28th, where it will then go back under its refurbishment and reopen on June 23rd when the rest of Pixar Pier opens. A portion of it, when it reopens, because they're making it bigger, a portion of it is going to offer reservations too. So when it becomes the Lamplight Lounge, it will have reservations. If you are in Disney World over Easter, To observe Easter, religious services will be held at Disney's Contemporary Resort at Walt Disney World in the Fantasia Ballroom on Sunday, April 1st. Catholic masses will be held at 8 a.m. and 10:30 a.m., and a Protestant service will be held at 9:15 a.m. And this is at Walt Disney World in the Contemporary Resort. Okay, so right now, Pirates of the Caribbean is closed down for its refurbishment, and I want to say it's supposed to be done by March 18th. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's when it reopens in Walt Disney World. So they also have to change out the red-headed auction scene in the one in Disneyland. So its refurbishment has been announced for April 23rd through June 7th, which stinks because that means I won't get to ride it. So I won't get to see it while we're there, but that's when its refurbishment is, April 23rd through June 7th. Next bit of news, back in Epcot in Walt Disney World, the Odyssey building in Epcot will soon be the home to festival centers, shopping, dining, and more. The space is being transformed into a flexi space with multiple uses. The Odyssey is a building over the water. If you were going the back way from, there's Wilbur, my first adopted dog, or second adopted dog, the other one, he died. He was like 15. He died last year, but this dog is still alive. This is Wilbur. He's also a Shih Tzu, and we adopted him when he was 3. So he's having to adjust to the new puppy, and he's scared of him. For some reason, he like shakes and backs up from him. I don't know why. It's a puppy, but I keep telling him to calm down. The puppy's not going to hurt him. So hopefully he'll get over it. Anywho, this is what the Odyssey building looks like. And if you're going from Test Track over to Mexico in the World Showcase at Epcot, you'll pass this on your way. In fact, you'll walk right in front of it. So it's going to be the new festival center and restaurant space and shopping area, etc. Because the Wonders of Life Pavilion is now under a refurbishment for we don't know what. So they're going to use the Odyssey building instead. Next bit of news. Speaking of Epcot, the International Food and Wine Festival dates have been released. It's going to be from August 30th through November 12th of 2018, 75 days of the food festival. So there's your dates, August 30th through November 12th. Back over in Disneyland, the Pixar Fest is going to have a new nighttime fireworks spectacular in Disneyland Park. It's going to be called Together Forever, a Pixar Nighttime Spectacular. It's going to light up Disneyland Park throughout Pixar Fest beginning April 13th. This all-new nighttime spectacular will celebrate friendship through dazzling pyrotechnics and memorable music. The stories of Together Forever will come to life through projections on iconic park locations, including Sleeping Beauty Castle, the water screens of Rivers of America, the facade of It's a Small World, and the buildings of Main Street, USA. This nighttime spectacular will even feature Buzz Lightyear and the house from Up flying over Sleeping Beauty Castle. How cool will that be? I can't wait to see that. Also, Edna Mode from The Incredibles is now going to be present as a meet and greet character walking around Pixar Pier. So we already knew she was going to be in Tomorrowland for the Incredible Dance Party and events that they're having there for the Incredible Summer. But now we know she's also going to be at Pixar Pier. Yay! Edna will also be making an appearance on the new Incredicoaster, also coming to Pixar Pier. The storyline for that ride has Edna Mode babysitting Jack Parr, and of course, something goes wrong. We see each of the Incredibles characters show off their superpowers during the ride, with Miss Incredible making an appearance in one of the Scream tubes, which are being enclosed to allow Imagineers new ways to incorporate the characters into the ride. Pixar Pier opens Saturday, June 23rd at Disney's California Adventure Park in Anaheim, California. Here is a change to the Disney Fantasy itinerary. So if you've got a cruise coming up on the Disney Fantasy out of Port Canaveral, let me just tell you, the British Virgin Islands continue to recover from the effects of Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria. As a result, we have altered the itinerary for the Disney Fantasy Eastern Caribbean sailings through June to include Phillipsburg, St. Martin instead of Tortola, British Virgin Islands. So if you were on that cruise, they give you a letter when you first check in and they let you know this, but just letting you know ahead of time. If you're on the Eastern Caribbean Disney Fantasy sailings now through May, actually through June it says, then you are going to be going to Phillipsburg, St. Martin instead of Tortola, British Virgin Islands as part of your itinerary. Now, Old Key West is undergoing a resort-wide refurbishment of all rooms and pool areas. And so the Turtle Pond Pool, the Turtle Shack Snack Bar, and the Flying Fish Game Room are scheduled to be closed from April 21st through June 22nd for refurbishment. During the closure, all of the other resort pools will remain available to guests, including the Feature Sandcastle Pool, which is at the Hospitality House, and the leisure pools in the Millers Road and South Point areas. Old Key West is in the midst of an extensive hard goods refurbishment of all guest rooms. Villas in buildings 30 and through 33 have been updated and reopened to guests, while buildings 34 and 35 are currently being updated. To coincide with the closure of the Turtle Pond Pool, expect several adjacent buildings in the 40 to 44 range to close for renovations. Additional details regarding the renovations can be found at the resort site. These are estimates only. The exact closure dates for the pool may be adjusted if necessary, but right now it's April 21st to June 22nd, while they're refurbishing the Turtle Pond area of Old Key West. Now, as part of Animal Kingdom's 20th anniversary, they are going to have what are called Tiffin's Talks, which are going to be special hard-ticketed dining events that will take place on select nights April 22nd to May 5th at Disney's Animal Kingdom. An example of who you might dine with for these Tiffin Talks is Dr. Joseph Soltis, who is a research scientist for Disney's Animals, Science, and Environment, Joe Rohde, portfolio creative executive and the guy that designed and helped build Animal Kingdom and Animal Kingdom Lodge and Aulani in Hawaii, Dr. Jason Fisher, the conservation program manager for Disney's Animals, Science, and Environment, Rachel Denault, the zoological manager at Disney's Animal Kingdom for the primate carnivore team, Dr. Ann Savage, the conservation director for Disney's Animals, Science, and Environment, and Dr. Scott Terrell, director of Animal and Science Operations for Walt Disney Parks and Resorts. Tiffin's Talks are separately priced offerings and available by booking online or calling WDW Dine, or by telling your travel agent you would like me to book you one. Pricing is $165 per person, tax and gratuity included. Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park admission is not included in the price, and you must have a ticket to get in to eat your dinner for the Tiffin's Talks. All right, here's another one. Remember how we talked about the Disney Springs resort area hotels were going to get the same treatment as if you were on site, basically? So those area hotels now have access to extra magic hours, and we can link the tickets and the reservation number into My Disney Experience, because they also now have access to 60-day FastPass reservations. Now, Four Seasons Orlando guests will receive extra magic hours as well. They will not, however, receive early FastPass reservations. So theirs are still going to be 30 days out, just like every other off-property hotel. But they will be getting the benefit of extra magic hours. So if you are staying at the Four Seasons Orlando, which is actually on Disney property, then you will now have access to extra magic hours through the end of 2018, as well as the availability to make fast passes at 30 days out. But the other Disney Springs area resort hotels get 60 days out. So that's the difference. That hotel opened in August of 2014, and now they're allowing it to have extra magic hours. Universal Orlando Resort. We're going to talk a lot about that here in a second from the training I went to the other day, but this is an interesting feature. So if you want to know wait times, if you want to know lots of other information about like entertainment or whatever's going on at Universal Orlando Resort parks the day that you're there, you can access their chat bot on Facebook Messenger. So let me tell you how to get there. First of all, you go to the Universal Orlando Resort's Facebook page, and then you click on the message button on their page. Messenger will launch, and you can ask away. Some of the things you can ask are, what are the current wait times? What are the show times for today? What are today's park hours? And like points of interest. Where's the nearest restroom, restaurant, guest services location, etc. So that's pretty cool. And then they'll just message you back the answer on Messenger on Facebook. This next story has caused a lot of grief over the last couple of days when it was announced on Wednesday. And I told several of you who are my clients, and we've already booked your trip, to watch this video. So hopefully you're rewatching it if you're not on here now. But I told you we'd talk about this. So here's what happened. Overnight self-parking at Disney Resort hotels at Walt Disney World Resort. Effective for reservations made March 21st, 2018 and thereafter. Pay attention to that. Standard overnight self-parking is available to registered guests for a fee that will be applied to their hotel folio upon checkout. All parking fees include applicable tax. Valet parking is also available for a fee. Complimentary standard self-parking is available while enjoying select dining, shopping, entertainment, and recreation experiences at the Disney Resort hotels during the day. But if your car is going to be in the parking lot at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel overnight, every night that it is there, you will be charged the fee for that particular resort, which can be found in the amenities section on that particular resort's page. And I'm going to tell them to you now as well. And it's also, we learned in our training on Thursday, it is also for every car a guest has in the lot. So let's say you have your family's a big family and you're like all staying together in a couple of rooms at that resort. Every single car that is on the lot will be charged this fee for every single night that car is on the lot, regardless of the fact that it may belong to like the same room or to, people in the same room. Okay, so that's something we learned on Thursday about this. There are a couple of exceptions, so let me read through this information that they gave to travel agents. Okay, so first of all, it's effective for reservations made March 21st and thereafter. All of my clients that I already have booked, you're all booked. So that means you were booked before March 21st. Which means regardless of when you travel the rest of this year, and I have people booked all the way through the December of this year and some into January of next year. So regardless of when you travel this year, you will not be charged this parking fee if you are driving. So let me say that again. If you are booked before March 21st at a Walt Disney World package with me for 2018 and the whole rest of this year, it doesn't matter when you travel, you will not be charged a parking fee if you drive a car to your resort. Okay, so I want everybody to hear that. You've already booked early. You did what I told you to do. So you're grandfathered into this. You will not pay the parking fee if you are driving because you're already booked. Now, that's incentive for those of you who are thinking about booking or who I've talked to this week about booking and have not done it yet. If we get you booked before March 21st, which is next week, if we get you booked before March 21st, you will not pay the parking fee if you drive to your Walt Disney World Resort and have a car in the parking lot. Okay? But if you book after that, starting March 21st and after, every single package that is booked at Walt Disney World Resort on March 21st and after will start paying these fees if you have a car on the parking lot of your resort. So let's talk about what those fees are. And of course, all the fees that I'm going to list include the applicable taxes. It could be why they're such weird numbers. They're strange numbers. Okay, so the standard overnight parking charges per resort category. So if you are in a Disney Value Resort, which ones are the value resorts? All-Star Music, All-Star Sports, All-Star Movies, Pop Century, Art of Animation. All of those are value resorts. So if you are driving to Disney and we book you after March 21st, then you will be paying $13 per night that your car is sitting in that resort parking lot of a value resort. If you are at a Disney Moderate Resort and we book you after March 21st, the moderate resorts are Fort Wilderness cabins, the campsites. Everybody listen, because I have people booked at the sites. The campsites include a parking spot. You will not pay if you are staying at a campsite for your parking because that includes a parking spot in your fee that you paid for that site. So if you are at Fort Wilderness campsites, the campgrounds, you will not pay a parking fee. However, that does not cover the cabins. So if you are at the Fort Wilderness cabin, you will pay parking from what I understand for a moderate resort. If you are at Port Orleans Riverside or French Quarter, if you are at Caribbean Beach Resort, or if you are at Coronado Springs Resort, that's all the rest of the moderates, then you will be paying this moderate resort fee of $19 per night. That's if we book you after March 21st. Okay, so moderate resorts are $19 a night. If you are staying in a Disney Deluxe Resort or a Deluxe Villa Resort, so this is Beach Club, Yacht Club, Boardwalk, Old Key West, Saratoga Springs, Contemporary Resort, Wilderness Lodge, Grand Floridian and Polynesian, and Animal Kingdom Lodge. So if you are at a deluxe or a deluxe villa resort, all those I just named, and we book you after March 21st, you will be paying, if you have a car on that resort's parking lot, $24 per night. So if we book you after March 21st and you decide to drive or rent a car and you have a car in their parking lot, you will be paying $24 per night at the deluxe resorts. Now, complimentary standard parking is available to guests staying at campsites at Disney Sport Wilderness. That's what I just said. Each campsite provides a parking space, not the cabins, the campsites. There's been a lot of questions about the difference there. Valet parking is available at select Disney Deluxe resorts and Disney Deluxe villas for $33 a night, sales tax included. That used to be $25. It has gone up to $33 if you want valet parking. Guests with disabilities. Designated parking areas are available throughout Walt Disney World Resort for guests with disabilities. A valid disability parking permit is required. Disney Vacation Club members will not be charged for standard overnight self-parking when staying at a DVC Deluxe Villa Resort, regardless of whether or not they used vacation points or another form of payment to book that resort. Also, members will not be charged to park when using vacation points to stay at a Walt Disney World Resort area hotel. So sometimes DVC members can use their points to stay at like Coronado Springs or something. So if you are using your points, or if you are staying in a DVC resort villa hotel and you are not using your points, you paid cash for it, if you're a DVC member, you will not be paying for parking. Do you want to know why? Because you pay for parking in your dues every year. So we're already paying for parking as DVC members. That's why they're not charging us again. Now, if you are renting DVC points from a member, or if you are a resale member, this perk may not apply to you. So I cannot answer that for you. Lots of people are asking that question. We don't have a definitive answer yet. So I have no idea if this applies to you or not, if you are not a DVC member, but you're staying on somebody else's points. So I cannot answer that for you. We don't have that answer. Day guests, if you are coming to a resort, Walt Disney World Resort, for a day and parking in the parking lot to dine or to shop or to do some sort of entertainment or recreation experience at a Disney Resort hotel, you will not be charged a parking fee. So if you're just coming for the day to go eat or shop or whatever, rent a boat, you will not be charged the parking fee. If you are staying at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel on property and you are driving a car and you drive to the park, you will not be charged to park at a park. So you will not be charged for parking if you are staying on property and driving your car to the parks. But you will be charged when you leave your car in the parking lot that night of your resort. Okay, so clear as mud, that is the new policy. Let me just say this, and we're going to talk about this in a second. Universal Orlando Resort has always had parking charges for their resort parking lots. And they also charge for day parking. Also, Disney Springs has free parking currently. So if you're parking at Disney Springs to go shopping, that is also a free parking garage. So we'll talk about Universal Orlando's parking policy and how much you pay when you're there in a second. But let me just say, every single other resort off property is charging you a resort fee that includes a parking fee. Disney just hasn't done it up until now. But let me also say this. That fee at the deluxe level is $24 a night. Why do you need a car if you can use the minivan service for $25 a ride? If you only need it like once a day, skip the rental car or whatever else you did, take a flight, use a minivan or an Uber or a Lyft. It is going to save you money from this parking fee. So that's something I wanted to say about that. I don't know that it would be worth it to have a car to the Lux Resort if you're not a DVC member, because you are going to be paying more than if you just took an Uber or a Lyft every time you wanted to go somewhere. Food for thought. All right, moving on. Next bit of news. Rapunzel's Royal Table is now open on the Disney Magic cruise ship, transporting you to the kingdom of Corona for an evening of music and fun. As the first table service restaurant themed to Tangled that features characters and live entertainment, Rapunzel's Royal Table is a dining experience unlike any other. I love the dining on Disney cruise ships. So much fun. When you enter the restaurant, it's as if you're stepping inside a regal ballroom in the royal castle, lit by glowing wish lanterns and adorned with colorful drawings that reflect Rapunzel's artistic talents. Here, the King and Queen of Corona invite everyone to take part in a festive celebration of Rapunzel's birthday and the anniversary of her return to the kingdom. Throughout dinner, the live entertainment includes spirited singing and dancing led by a merry band of musicians, the mischievous Snuggly Duckling thugs, and of course, Princess Rapunzel herself. In true Disney fashion, a lively parade caps off your evening in Corona. So what's on the menu? From the Snuggly Duckling charcuterie platter to the tangled pasta and the birthday cupcake sundae, your night at Rapunzel's Royal Table is quite the feast. All right. Also on that ship, the Magic, is the Tangled the Musical Broadway-style stage production. So that'll be cool. Their restaurant goes with their stage production. So that's awesome. Next bit of news is a reorganization of the Walt Disney Company, especially as they are trying to buy Fox. So the Walt Disney Company announced a corporate restructuring today that will give Parks and Resorts Chairman Bob Chapek control over more parts of the company. Under the restructuring, which takes effect immediately, Disney has now 4 main units: the movie studio, the TV networks, parks, which now includes consumer products, which Bob was in charge of before, and so now they're just putting it back under him again. And then a new direct-to-consumer and international business unit. That new unit is going to be in charge of all of Disney's over-the-top streaming services, as well as advertising sales on all of the company's networks. Consumer products moves back under Chapek in this reorganization, which returns that unit of the company to his control. He ran consumer products before taking over the parks in 2015. Why the change? Essentially, this now allows Iger to oversee directly the launch of Disney's new streaming services without having to go through the intermediaries of Ben Sherwood at Media Networks or Alan Horn at the Studio Entertainment Division. Putting consumer products under Chapek frees Iger to take on that new direct report, while putting Disney's merchandise unit under someone who already knows the business. Disney's former chief strategy officer, Kevin Meyer, will now oversee the direct-to-consumer unit. All right, there's the reorg, and it already took effect. Next bit of news, this is so cool. So when I was at my Toy Story Land training last week, they mentioned that the water parks, one of the water parks, would be getting a new fun attraction this summer. But they didn't tell us which one, and they didn't tell us what it would be. So this announcement this week, I think, is the answer to that question. Today, Disney Parks blog is happy to share that Disney's Typhoon Lagoon, so it's a Typhoon Lagoon, will join in the fun of the incredible summer with a new Disney H2O Glow Night. As part of Incredible Summer, Toy Story Pals will throw glow parties at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon water park, inspired by the awesome party in the Pixar short Partysaurus Rex. On select summer nights starting June 21st, special lighting effects will transform the water park like never before as Buzz, Woody, and Jessie throw a beach party inspired by their friend Partysaurus Rex. Come join the fun, dance on the beach, play party games, and meet up with Buzz, Woody, and Jessie, plus all attractions are open for guest enjoyment. Disney H2O Glow Nights will take place only at Typhoon Lagoon on Thursdays and Saturdays from June 21st through August 11th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Thursdays and Saturdays at Typhoon Lagoon Water Park from June 21st through August 11th from 8 to 11 p.m. The H2O Glow Nights are a separately ticketed event, and the party is not included in your daytime admission to that water park. Tickets will go on sale on March 19th, and the cost is going to be $55 for adults, and $50 for children ages 3 through 9 plus tax. So if you would like to go, let me know. That is a separately ticketed event. It sounds really fun, so we'll just have to see. Our friends in the UK at Attractions Tickets Direct are already able to buy their Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party tickets and most of the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party tickets. Those dates have not been announced yet here in America, but they're selling them for Walt Disney World's parties. I took a look at those dates, and the party is starting, it looks like, from what I can tell, a week earlier than it started last year. At least 1 week earlier. Mid-August. The Halloween parties will start, according to this. And they will be at least 3 nights a week through September, and then 4 nights a week through October, all the way through the 31st. The Very Merry Christmas parties are going to start early November. They don't happen during the week of Thanksgiving. And then I can't see anything past November. So I'm not going to tell you these exact dates yet because they may not be accurate. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming if they can already sell tickets to them in the UK, then they probably are accurate. But what I do know is there's a weird phenomenon going on. Magic Kingdom Park is closing at 6 p.m. now. So last year they started this with the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, where the park closed to guests who did not have a party ticket at 6 p.m. And then from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., those guests could still eat and shop, but were not allowed on rides. And then the party officially starts at 7. So that started with the Christmas parties last year. I guess they liked it because now all these early closing dates, you can see them. If you go on the Magic Kingdom's calendar, you can see when it closes at 6. So those, they're probably going to do the Halloween party this year like they did the Christmas party last year, where the park officially closes to non-ticketed guests at 6 p.m. You have until 6 or 7 to shop and eat. And then from 7 on is when the party officially starts, but your party ticket gets you in as early as 4. So we'll see for sure once they release it all, but that's what it sure looks like to me. The weird thing is, the week I'm there, the first week in September, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night, the park all closes at 6. But not every night is a party night, according to what I'm looking at here. So we don't know what's going on. So I'm waiting to find out because I want to go to Night of Joy. But the last several years, it's been at the ESPN complex. And they shuttle you over there. And it's usually Friday night and Saturday night of that weekend. So now with all of these nights, it being, the park closing at 6, some people are theorizing maybe we'll see Night of Joy come back to the Magic Kingdom those couple of nights. So I hope so. That would be awesome. I would love that if they did it, but I don't know. I've asked Walt Disney World about it. I've inquired to them about it, and they said just keep watching the park's blog for announcements. So once that happens, I'll let you know. This is all pure speculation here. I'm just noticing that the park is closing early those 4 nights. So we'll see what happens. Next bit of information. There was a glitch in the system for Run Disney, and people who were trying to reserve a spot for the Disney Wine and Dine Half Marathon weekend, the November 1st through 4th, were having trouble doing that. So they have moved that registration to Tuesday, March 20th. So at noon Eastern, which is 11 Central. So if you are wanting to register for that and you are not one of the people that gets to register early like DVC members do, which they started registering today, DVC, AP, I believe, started registering today. If you are not one of those things and you want to register for the Disney Wine and Dine Half Marathon weekend, November 1st through 4th of this year, then you will need to do so starting March 20th, Tuesday, at noon Eastern. There you go. And just remember, if we don't have you booked for a room and you're going to run that race, you're going to eventually book a room. And if you wait till March 21st to do that, like after you book your race, you'll be paying for parking. Fair warning. All right, next bit of news. Disneyland has a discount out right now. It's called the Spring into Savings with up to 20% off of select rooms at Disneyland Resort hotels. Here's what they are. You can save 20% on premium rooms and 15% on standard rooms at the Disneyland Hotel most Sunday through Thursday nights from April 15th to June 14th when you book now through May 31st. Your travel must be completed by June 15th. All right, so at the Disneyland Hotel, it's 20% off of premium rooms, 15% off of standard rooms traveling April 15th to June 14th. Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, you can save 15% off of premium rooms and 10% off of standard rooms April 15th through May 24th and April 15th through June 14th on the standard rooms. Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel, you could save 10% on premium and standard rooms April 15th through June 14th. Let me make sure I'm telling you everything you need to know about this. Okay, next bit of news, Apple Maps has added transit information covering Orlando, Florida. So if you're wanting to walk, drive, take a monorail, whatever, your Apple Maps should be able to give you transit information in Orlando. Next bit of news, remember how I said that the Main Street trolley tracks in Disneyland in California were getting a refurb for the first time, I think, ever. I'm not sure they've ever redone this. So it's done now. Let me show you what it looks like. They put brick down. Isn't that nice? And all new tracks. They're very pretty. All right, so that refurbishment is now done. Next bit of news, add some magic to your Easter baskets with excellent treats from the Ganachery. They have Easter surprise eggs with additional treats inside. This is in Disney Springs, their chocolate shop, the Ganachery. Special Easter egg surprises. All right, the new Slinky Dog Dash coaster in Toy Story Land is going to feature an on-ride photo. Yay! Just like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train does. So I'm excited to see that. Disney has announced the start date for an incredible Tomorrowland Expo that will take place at the Magic Kingdom Park. Beginning May 25th, Pixar superheroes will take over Tomorrowland. So now we have a date for this. Guests can interact with Mr. Incredible, Frozone, and other supers from Pixar's The Incredibles and upcoming Incredibles 2. And for the first time ever, guests will get to see Edna Mode. Tomorrowland will also be decked out with Incredibles decor and sounds from the film. Guests can also enjoy a super dance party on the Rocket Tower stage. An Incredible Tomorrowland Expo will run from May 25th through September 3rd in Tomorrowland at the Magic Kingdom Park. The Guardians of the Galaxy and Epcot Awesome Mix Live concert series begins June 9th. Starting June 9th, Star-Lord and Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy will take guests on a musical journey through the cosmos in the Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Live concert series. Shows will feature tunes from Star-Lord's Awesome Mixtapes, which are the 2 movie soundtracks. The group will take the stage 5 times daily, starting June 9th and going through August 19th. So that one is not nearly as long as the Tomorrowland thing. All right, next bit of news. ESPN has ordered NBA rookie documentary series for the new streaming service that comes out this year. Here is what Universal charges for parking in their hotel lots. And they also charge for day parking. So let's talk about that. If you are staying in a Universal Orlando Resort, Universal charges a $20 per night self-parking fee, $27 for valet at its luxury resorts for registered guests. So the luxury resorts are Royal Pacific. That is the lowest end of the luxury hotels. So Royal Pacific, Hard Rock Hotel, and the Portofino Bay Hotel. So those are $20 per night if you're a registered guest at that hotel for parking, $27 if you have valet. Day guests, now this is different from Disney. Disney's not charging for day guests. But if you're a day guest at one of those hotels at Universal Orlando Resort, you are going to pay $22 for self-parking and $32 for valet. Cabana Bay and the new Aventura Hotel, which are more of their value type resorts, they charge $12 a night to overnight guests for self-parking and $20 a day for visitors. So notice that day fee there is quite a bit more expensive than their per night fee. So just wanted to let you know. And I think this is kind of funny. One of the Disney Springs Resort Area hotels, which is now getting the benefits of a non-property hotel, like you get extra magic hours and you also get 60 days advanced fast pass reservations. The DoubleTree Suites by Hilton has a terrific rates right now and a free parking deal. Plus, throughout 2018, you get access to extra magic hours and 60-day fast pass reservations. Just thought that was kind of funny. So I thought I'd throw that out there. If you don't want to pay for parking, maybe stay at the Doubletree Disney Springs Resort. Right now, the Kringle Bakery in Norway is closed for refurbishment to make it bigger to accommodate the larger crowds that they've been having. So while it's closed, guests can journey to the World Showcase Promenade in front of Norway to get their fix of the Kringle's most popular items. It's called the Midnattåsol Bakery, and it's right by the water of World Showcase Lagoon. And it's got the menu sitting outside. Rice cream is still on the menu. School bread is still on the menu. All the things that you would want to get from that bakery while it's under refurbishment are at this new little cart out by the water in Norway. Disney Cruise Line. This summer, there will be a 7-night Mediterranean cruise offered from Barcelona. You get to visit lots of fun places on the Italian coast and the French Riviera in this particular cruise. The Mediterranean cruises from Barcelona also offer the chance to add an Adventures by Disney itinerary to your cruise so that you can go out and do day excursion stuff with the Adventures by Disney guides. And you're the first off the ship, and you get all kinds of other benefits doing that as well. So where do they go? Naples, Italy, Rome, Italy, Livorno, Italy, Cannes, France, and that is all leaving from Barcelona on the 7-night Mediterranean itineraries. So there you go. That's pretty cool. Reservations are now open for the Pixar Play Zone at Disney's Contemporary Resort. So this is kind of their temporary replacement for the fact that they're closing all the kids clubs at all the resorts that had them starting July 31st at Walt Disney World. So they have come up with a new thing. It's called the Pixar Play Zone. It's going to be available starting April 13th nightly at the Contemporary Resort. Kids ages 4 through 12 will be transported to a world full of excitement and adventure with their favorite characters from Disney's Pixar's Toy Story and The Incredibles. While the kids play, the parents will be able to enjoy their own getaway throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. Now, I think that's pretty cool. And so let me tell you what it has. In Bonnie's Playroom, children will find a variety of toys. Around the corner, the living room will be the center for most of the action, starting with Space Ranger training, where a Space Ranger will teach kids what it takes to become a junior Space Ranger of Star Command, including how to identify enemies like the evil Zurg. And finally, the call of the Space Ranger to infinity and beyond. Then Woody and Jesse will show them the ropes of the Wild West during Woody's Roundup, complete with a sing-along for a rootin' tootin' good time. Next to the living room will be the Radiator Springs Racetrack, where youngsters will be able to build their own race car and take turns sending them down to Soapbox Derby Racetrack for the Piston Cup Derby race. Finally, they will learn some sweet dance moves during the Incredible Dance Party with Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, complete with a party host. The evening will also include arcade games, dinner, and dessert. The nightly getaway for kids ages 4 through 12, starting again April 13th, will open its doors for check-in at 5. The experience will begin at the welcome desk, a stop at the Monsters, Inc. hand washing station, which they have on the cruise ships in the kids club. It's so cool. And then Boo's Closet Door, where youngsters will be able to store any belongings before taking a couple of steps into the action-packed evening of Pixar fun. Programming will run from 6 to 10:30 p.m. for a fee of $65 per child plus tax. Children must be fully toilet trained. Parents will be required to be physically present to check their children in and out of the experience. So if you would like to do that or reserve that for your kids, just let me know. We can get that done for you, but I think that would be so much fun. So it's definitely an option for you guys if you want to have a date night or something and have a place for your kids to have an awesome time, because I know they will love it. All right. This next bit of news we talked about last week because it happened like just then when I was coming on live, and they've already corrected it because so many people were upset about it. Now, unfortunately, that did not work for the parking situation, but it did work for this. So Sunshine Tree Terrace used to have what was called a citrus swirl and a citrus swirl float. And it is literally frozen orange juice slushy mixed with vanilla soft serve ice cream and orange soda. Well, they changed the mixture and they made it like a non-dairy mixture so it could be vegan, and they changed the name to an orange cream float and an orange cream cup. And it is orange flavored soft serve with vanilla soft serve ice cream. So it's not the orange juice mixture that the citrus swirl was. So that caused a lot of people who are sentimental to the orange bird and the citrus swirl to get a little upset. So they got so upset that Disney put it back on the menu. So now at Sunshine Tree Terrace, you can get your choice of the citrus swirl float, the orange cream float, the citrus swirl cup, or the orange cream cup. Sometimes it works to talk to Disney when you're upset. Unfortunately, it did not with the parking. So there you go. Next bit of news. I just talked about how they're having a room discount at Disneyland for the 3 hotels. There is also an optional Pixar decorated room and ticket package that you can add on if you're staying at a Disneyland Resort hotel. Not all of them, so let me explain which ones. This package includes an enhanced in-room and in-park experience with the included purchase of a 2-day or more theme park ticket. In your hotel room, the Disneyland team can create a colorful Pixar-filled welcome, complete with a door banner, themed blanket and balloons, as well as a limited edition Pixar Fest print, all to take back home to remember the magic. This premium package also includes reserved viewing for the highly popular Paint the Night Parade in Disney's California Adventure Park. That's actually a really good benefit. With so many unique offerings, the Pixar decorated room and ticket package is very limited in quantity. The package is available for guests staying at the Disneyland Hotel or the Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa for 2 nights or more, most Sunday through Thursday nights between April 15th and June 14th. All interested guests can book now through June 13th with a personal vacation advisor or by using their travel agent. We also have a special booking offer available this spring. Guests can save up to 20% on select rooms at Disney's Grand Californian, at Disneyland, and 10% at Disney's Paradise Pier. We just talked about that. Now, this particular room decorating thing is only at the Disneyland Hotel or the Grand Californian, and you're not going to get that discount. You cannot combine discounts with Disney. So if you choose the Pixar Pier decorated or the Pixar themed decorated room package, then you are not going to get the discounted room package. So just know that they do not combine discounts. For those of you who did not know, I can book any cruise line. Not to say that I will, but there's one that I do am okay booking, and that is Royal Caribbean. For those of you who live in Texas or Louisiana or somewhere and you want to go out of a different port other than Port Canaveral in Florida, and maybe a Disney cruise is not available in the summer, but that's the only time you can go, Royal Caribbean is a good secondary option. So let me tell you about what they're doing. You know, Disney has their own private island. It's called Castaway Cay. Now Royal Caribbean has one, but they're going to build 4 all around the world. And the one that is in the Bahamas is going to be called, or actually is called, Coco Cay. But they're totally upgrading it. They're doing a $200 million upgrade in what the cruise line hopes to be many private destination upgrades that it's calling the Perfect Day Island Collection. So here's what they're adding. The upgrades will include the creation of a 13-slide water park that also features the largest wave pool in the Caribbean, according to the cruise line. The upgrades include the creation of the tallest in North America slide, the Daredevil's Peak at 135 feet. In comparison, Disney's Summit Plummet at Blizzard Beach is 120 feet tall, and Volcano Bay's tallest slide, the Coco Cay Body Plunge, is 125 feet tall. This one will be 135 feet tall, if you're crazy enough to do that. That is not my thing. Next, also on the island, will be a helium balloon that rises to 450 feet, a 1,600-foot long zip line. Also on the island will be the zip line splash lands in the harbor. A new set of overwater cabanas is being added, and the largest freshwater pool in the Caribbean. Let me say something about these cabanas. They're only going to be $200 to rent. Now, that may seem expensive, but if you've been to Castaway Cay and you want to rent a family cabana, it's like $560, and there's no guarantee you'll get to do it. So that's actually pretty good. So the overwater cabanas are going to be on the largest freshwater pool in the Caribbean. The resort will be segmented into 7 areas, including a colorful Willy Wonka-esque welcome area. On Chill Island, visitors can partake of adventures such as wave runners, snorkeling, and boat tours alongside the island's largest dining venue. On South Beach, more sportive activities, including beachside volleyball, basketball and soccer, glass-bottom kayaking, paddleboarding, and zorbs, in which riders enter giant inflatable balls and roll themselves in the ocean. So if you're a thrill seeker, there's some interesting stuff here. The exclusive Coco Beach Club in the Bahamas will have its only over-the-water cabanas with over-water hammocks, slides, and personal attendants. Yes, you heard me right, slides. I'm going to show you a picture here in a second. The area has other beachside cabanas and day beds alongside an infinity pool and a higher-end Mediterranean dining restaurant. The rollout of all the features will take place starting with the completion of the pier in September 2018, with most of the rest of the features in place by spring of 2019. Coco Beach Club is slated to be completed by November of 2019. The Coco Cay is the first of what the line hopes will be many redesigned destinations elsewhere in the Caribbean as well as in Asia and Australia. Here's the concept art. So here, let me turn it. This is that big balloon, helium balloon going in the air. Then the tall water slides you can see there, that's the colorful little things there. And that's the water park. Here's the little street that takes you to the water park when you get off the ship. And then again, this is Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, which sails out of Galveston year-round. See, there's the ship parked at the dock up there. And my finger where it's supposed to be. There's the ship. And here's the, they even got gondolas. You can see those right there. Or else that's the zip line. I really can't tell. There's the pool. That may be the zip line. I think that is. That's a 1,600-foot zip line. Here's the area where those cabanas are going to be in the nicer area, the Coco Beach Club. Get it closer to. All right. Here are the over-the-water cabanas, which awesome. And if you could see, right there is a slide from the cabana into the water. How cool is that? So that's Royal Caribbean. They're building their own, or they're upgrading their private island of Coco Cay. So in the Bahamas. So if you want to sail Royal Caribbean and you'd like to get a quote, that is one of the cruise lines I can quote for you. So just let me know. Next bit of news, Toy Story Land is still building, obviously. They're still getting ready for their June 30th opening in Walt Disney World. And they've just added Wheezy. Everybody know Wheezy? It's a little penguin that sings. They've added him to Toy Story Land. Here's something that also has a hat. It's a purple hat, and it says, "Meet me at the Purple Wall." This is an Instagram thing, but everybody likes to take their picture in front of this wall in Tomorrowland at Disney World and Magic Kingdom. So Disney has slated that the wall will be repainted through the spring, adding that there will be a newly enhanced section that's sure to be a crowd pleaser. Now, they even have a Meet Me at the Purple Wall magic band. This wall is so popular. So who knows what they're doing to it or what the enhancement is going to be, but they are doing one. So there you go. The other thing that they mentioned at my training last week about Disney World was that a new store was coming to the west side of Disney Springs, but they didn't say what it was or when it would open. They announced it this week. It is called Disney Style, and it is going to be opening in May in Disney Springs on the west side. It is going to have classic, trendy, vintage, retro styles, something for everyone, and it's going to be called Disney Style. Fresh and stylish apparel and accessories inspired by beloved attractions at Disney parks and timeless Disney characters. With a variety of fun and trendy products, guests will find Spirit jerseys, headwear, shirts, and other fun accessories that will perfectly complement their style. Disney Style will be located next to Star Wars Galactic Outpost, where the Harley-Davidson store used to be. But that's not the only place for guests to enhance their clothing and accessory collections at Disney Springs. Other fashion-forward stores also have some fantastic options as well. A perfect place to look for quality high-end jewelry is the Ever After Jewelry Company and Accessories in Town Center at Disney Springs. They have Pandora, Alex and Annie, Dooney and Burke, Chris Lou, all in that one store. So you don't have to go to the individual different stores. You can just go to that one. All the clothing and souvenirs that families want or need, they'll find at the Disney Corner, a fun pop-up shop located in Town Center. They have apparel, collectibles, accessories, everything Mickey and Minnie Mouse that everyone in the family, including infants and toddlers, will look great in after a visit to the Disney Corner. It is open for a limited time while they are refurbishing the World of Disney in Disney Springs, just so you know. If you're there for Easter in Walt Disney World at Disney Springs, Maria and Enzo's, the Italian restaurant, is going to have a special Easter brunch on Sunday, April 1st. Please make reservations if you want to do that. Now, Disneyland had its first Disney After Dark night, and it was a themed night earlier this year in January. So now their second one has been announced, is going to be a Star Wars night. Woohoo! So the Disney Parks blog has announced that Star Wars Night, the second after-hours event in the new Disneyland After Dark series, is set for the evening of May 3rd, the night before Star Wars Day, which is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. It's a can't-miss Star Wars party. Guests will be the first to experience the new March of the First Order, which we already have in Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World. They're now adding it to Disneyland, in which Captain Phasma leads a squad of First Order troops through Tomorrowland. You can now meet Rey, which is not at Walt Disney World. This is cool. You can meet Rey at Star Wars Launch Bay, celebrate the return of Hyperspace Mountain, where they take Space Mountain and turn it into a Star Wars-themed Space Mountain, which I'll get to ride. So Hyperspace Mountain is coming back, the amazing Star Wars transformation of the iconic Space Mountain attraction. Even Supreme Leader Snoke would love Star Wars Night, we think. Star Wars attire is encouraged for the one-night event, which will feature Star Wars-themed food and tons more, including exclusive after-hours access to Disneyland Park with mix-in access beginning at 6, special entertainment including character encounters and more, themed decor and immersive Star Wars-themed photo opportunities, commemorative lanyards, event credential, and complimentary PhotoPass digital downloads, first opportunity to purchase limited edition May the 4th merchandise. Disneyland.com has ticket pricing, but I visited it for you so I can tell you what the ticket pricing is for this. March 27th, the tickets will go on sale for the Disneyland Resort annual pass holders, and on March 29th, tickets will go on sale for the general public. Also, beginning on Star Wars Day, May the 4th, all Disneyland Park guests will be able to enjoy March of the First Order, meeting Rey and Hyperspace Mountain. The tickets are as such. Tickets are $99 per person for adults and children ages 3 and older. A ticket is not required if your child is under the age of 3. You can purchase the Disneyland After Dark Star Wars Night tickets online beginning March 29th or in person at any Disneyland Resort ticket booth. Let me say, though, they're going to sell out before then, so you really need to purchase them online. Tickets are limited and available while supplies last. Guests under the age of 18 must have a parent or guardian's permission to call. Tickets are non-refundable and other restrictions apply. There you go. Oh, and look, there's another picture of my puppy, Yoda. He came to visit at the beginning of this video, so if you missed him, you need to watch it from the beginning when we're done. Okay, Mickey Balloon Popcorn Bucket has now come to Walt Disney World. There you go. It looks like the Mickey balloons, and it's a popcorn bucket, and it's $15 if you want one of those souvenir popcorn buckets. Beginning March 19th, guests will be able to spend time with the Easter Bunny in the town square courtyard of Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. The Easter Bunny will be found in this location until April 1st. So March 19th through April 1st, you can get your picture taken with Mr. Easter Bunny in town square courtyard at Magic Kingdom. Then, on March 31st and April 1st, there will be a special pre-parade prior to the Disney Festival of Fantasy Parade that will make its way down Main Street, USA. The merriment will include not only Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny, but also Daisy Duck, Thumper and Mrs. Bunny, Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh, White Rabbit, Clara Cluck, hippos, ostriches, and dancing chicks. Oh, and they will also feature the thing that just screams Easter in Disney, the Azalea Trail Maids from Mobile, Alabama. While visiting the park, make sure to check the times guide for specific times for these events. All right. I believe this is my last bit of news for tonight. All right. As recently we talked about how if you're a concierge level resort guest at a Walt Disney World Resort, you will have the opportunity to add what's called Theme Park Extra to your package of at least 3 nights or more of tickets, where you can purchase up to three more extra fast passes per day of your stay, which also will include special viewing areas for nighttime spectaculars at all 4 parks. So now they have shown us where the special viewing area for Theme Park Extra is going to be at Epcot for Illuminations. It will be in front of the Germany waterfront area. The regular FastPass Plus viewing area for day guests will continue to be located at World Showcase Plaza. In addition, the check-in and viewing location for Frozen Ever After dessert party guests is on the Mexico side of World Showcase Plaza on the west side of the Disney Trader Store. So there you go. You now know where you can go if you're a concierge and you bought the Theme Park Extra package. Almost done. Told you it was going to be long tonight. There was so much news this week, and just explaining that parking thing alone was going to be complicated. If you missed that, go back and rewind. Now, yesterday, I went to a Universal Orlando Resort training. And they gave me this stuff, which is really cool. One of my favorite things is this map. So Orlando Universal considers their third park, the water park, Volcano Bay, as a third park. So they literally call it, I'm trying to get it in here. They literally call it its third park. So they say 3 parks, spectacular hotels, endless awesome. So I got a training on all this. On the back side is the height requirements and entertainment activities in every one of their parks. Let me just say this, and this was so funny. The training guides for this particular training said, people often ask us, what is the minimum age you can be at Universal Orlando Resort? Or what's the best age to take a child to Universal Orlando? I got this handy notebook that I took notes in. And guess what they said? The best age for Universal Orlando for a child is 42 inches. So that is what they said. So the back of that map where it has all of those rides listed, you have to be 42 inches to ride most of the rides at Universal Orlando Resort. Now, there are some for little kids. Like they have a whole Dr. Seuss area with a couple of rides there for kids that are smaller than 42 inches. And they also have a Minion Mayhem ride that is for kids smaller than 42 inches. But if you want to ride anything else at Universal Studios Park or at Islands of Adventure, or even a lot of the stuff at Volcano Bay, although they do have a couple of kiddie areas there too, you have to be 42 inches. So what is the age for Orlando, Universal Orlando Resort? 42 inches. All right. So if you have me get tickets for you, which I have a lot of clients do this, they stay at their Disney resort, but like they take a day, they take a lift over and they spend a day at Universal Orlando. And so I get them tickets in advance for that. And then they send me an email with your confirmation number, and I send that to you, and you go to a kiosk once you get there and print your tickets. So that's how they work. I did not realize this until I went to the training, but there are specific benefits that you're only able to get if you get those tickets through me, through a travel agent. And you won't find it on the consumer site. And I had no idea that this was the case, but this is pretty cool. So let me tell you how that works. If you buy tickets through me to Universal Orlando Resort, let's say you're wanting to do a day and you're wanting to make sure you see all the Harry Potter rides. And those are in 2 parks. They're in Universal Orlando, but they're also in Islands of Adventure. So if you want to see both parts of Harry Potter and you want to ride the Hogwarts Express in between the 2, then you must have a 2-park park-to-park ticket. Okay, so I order those for people all the time, but I did not know that they got this. So let me tell you what happens if I order them for you on the travel agent site. If I get tickets for you on the site, I'm trying to find the place where I wrote this down. Let me see, hold on just 1 second. I took a ton of notes because they have a lot of interesting stuff that I didn't know about. Here we go. You get what they call early morning hour or extra morning. No, they call it early morning hour. You get this early morning hour. Okay, so Disney has extra magic hours, but they could be in the morning or in the afternoon. At Universal, it's only in the morning. So it's an hour before the park opens. The park usually opens at 9, so it's from 8 to 9. But it's only in Harry Potter World if you are in one of those 2 parks of Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure. There's also an early morning hour for Volcano Bay from 8 to 9. But that would mean you would need a 3-park ticket. Okay? So most people are wanting to see Harry Potter. So there's an extra early morning hour. I'm going to call it the wrong thing. There's an early morning hour, but you can only get it if you're not staying on property. You can only get it through your travel agent booking your ticket. They will give you, if I book it off of the travel agent site, they are going to give you that extra morning hour in Harry Potter World just because I booked it through the travel agent site. Now the prices are all the same, so it matters not. If you were to book it on your own, it's not going to be a different price than me booking it. But the interesting thing is, if I book it, you get that extra morning hour in Harry Potter World, which is probably why you're going anyway. And you don't have to stay on site to get it. The only other way to get that is by staying in one of their resort hotels. So that is a travel agent exclusive thing. So if I book your tickets for you and you're wanting to go to Universal for a day, you want me to do it because you're going to get this extra morning hour. That's cool. I'm very excited about that. Another thing that they were telling us that we can book exclusively are transfers added to your ticket. So if you're wanting to transfer, take a motor coach through quick transport from your Walt Disney World Resort hotel to Universal for the day and then back, which adds a cost to your ticket, I can only do that for you by booking your ticket through the travel agent site. You will not see that on the consumer site. So that's another travel agent exclusive offer. So if you want to add that on, here's what happens. You need to be picked up by 10 a.m. at your Walt Disney World Resort, and you're going to be returning at least by 2 a.m. So I guess if you wanted, after you did the park, if you wanted to go over to Universal City Walk and eat at Twosome Chocolate Factory or Cowfish or something else they have over there, or maybe see Blue Man Group, then they would pick you up all the way up until 2 a.m. and bring you back to your Walt Disney World Resort hotel. So those can be added on only through a travel agent to your ticket, just so you know. So if you did not want to take a lift over there, if you wanted a bigger kind of shuttle service, then that can be added on by me to your ticket as well. They also have dining plans that we can add. They have a quick service dining plan that you can add to the ticket, that I can add for you to your ticket. And if you're staying at the resort, there's also the option for a full service dining plan. The full service one is 1 table service credit, 1 quick service credit, 1 snack, and 1 beverage for the day. Every day you have it. We'll talk about that in a second. The quick service credit is 1 quick service, 1 snack, and 1 beverage for every day you have it. Here's what's interesting about this. There's dining plans here. Unlike Disney, who when you book a Disney package and you add the dining plan on, everyone in the room must have the same dining plan. And it must be for every night of your stay. You really don't have an option there. At Universal Resort, the dining plan is flexible. So you can choose to have like the dining plan 2 nights of your stay, and then maybe be concierge level during your stay as well. At the luxury resorts, the legacy resorts is what they call them. So Royal Pacific, Hard Rock Hotel, and Portofino Bay, you can get concierge level access, which means you're going to get a complimentary breakfast every day, snacks and drinks and cold beverages throughout the day, and a special dinner reception every night. That's a lot of food. So you probably don't need a dining plan the days you have concierge level. It only costs you $100 a day per room, not per person in the room, per room, to get concierge level at one of those luxury resorts. That is not bad at all. And then you don't have to have the dining plan for those days. If you do the dining plan, not everybody in your room has to have it. It's very flexible. So like maybe if your kids don't need it, you think they can eat off of your plate, but only the adults in the room want it, or maybe only 2 people in the room want it and everybody else doesn't, or maybe only the kids want it, but you don't want it as an adult, whatever. It's totally flexible. And I can add it into your package like that. So you could say, just Joey and Molly are going to have it and nobody else is going to have the dining plan. Or Joey and Molly are going to have the table service dining plan, which is called the full service. And then Sally and Mark are going to have the quick service. And they're only going to have it 2 days, but Joe and Sally want it the whole week. We can do that at Universal Orlando Resort in their packages. So their dining plans are very flexible. The other cool thing about this is their quick service dining plan, so which is 1 quick service a day, 1 snack, 1 beverage. All those entitlements never expire. So if you were there for a day and had, the quick service dining plan, but you were going to come back later that week, you could use your remaining entitlements on that dining plan card the next time you go. What if you don't come back for the rest of that year? You can use them the next time you go, which I think is so cool. However, if you get the full service dining plan, those credits expire 14 days after the first use. So that's slightly different, but the quick service dining plan credits don't expire. So next time you go, use them then. So that's pretty cool because Disney's, they expire. They expire before midnight of the day you check out. So if you don't use them all by then tough luck. So I like that flexibility thing. All right, let's see. Okay. Disney World has this thing called child swap, where if you have a child that is below the height requirement for a ride or too young for a ride, and everybody else wants to ride it and all your other kids are old enough and they can ride it, then one of the parents can go ride the ride with the rest of the kids, and then you do what's called a child swap, and they give you this little piece of paper and it says child swap on it. They have you wait over to the side, and when your family's done on the ride, you swap parents, and then all the kids that are old enough can go back on the ride with the other parent, while the other one waits with the little kids who can't go on the ride. Okay, which is very convenient. But at Universal, they have what's called a family room or a child swap room, which is usually air conditioned, or if it's an outside queue, it's fan, you know. And they also have a monitor up there that shows the ride vehicle. So you can watch your family from an air conditioned place with seating go on the ride, and when they're done, you can go meet them and swap. So the parent can swap or whatever, and then they can watch the kids on the ride with the other parent, or grandparents who don't want to ride a ride or whatever. So I thought that was cool. It's a nice idea to have that room you can go to instead of having to wait just to the side of the line in the heat. So that's pretty cool. Another thing I learned at the Orlando Resort training is, I learned a lot, but I'm just kind of going through the highlights for you. The new Aventura hotel they're building will be ready in August. If you book a 4-night or longer stay, minimum 4 nights, they will give you a $50 meal credit at the hotel. If you book a 7-night stay, they will give you a $100 meal credit at the hotel. This hotel, Aventura Hotel, is going to have a rooftop bar serving tapas. It's going to be very high tech. Every room will have an iPad that controls everything in the room. Lights, TV, sound, whatever. It's controlled by your iPad. It has a South Beach, Miami kind of look to it, glass and steel. It has 2 different types of kid suites. And then there's a king bed in one of the rooms, and then 2 twin themed beds, depending on the theme of the room you're in. And then I believe a pull-out sofa. So that's awesome. Those rooms, the basic rooms there, are supposed to go for $99 a night or less. So it's considered a value one like Cabana Bay. Cabana Bay has 2-bedroom suites available in their new towers, 20 total, so there's 10 in each tower. They sleep up to 8. Some have views of Volcano Bay. They have a pull-out couch in the living room, 1 king bed in one room, 2 queen beds in the other room, and 2 bathrooms. So if you are wanting to stay at the Orlando Resort and you're wanting to stay in a 2-bedroom suite, those are available at Cabana Bay, which is a value resort. Now, here's the advantage to booking in one of their luxury resorts, and we really should price this for you because if you're wanting to get the Universal Express Unlimited Pass, which people in the luxury resorts get. So again, if you're in Royal Pacific, if you're in Hard Rock Hotel or Portofino Bay, you're going to get automatically with your stay what's called the Universal Express Unlimited Pass. The Express Unlimited Pass is front of the line on every single ride, now including Harry Potter rides. They just added those last June or July. So front of the line as many times as you want every day that you have this ticket, every day you have your stay that you have tickets for, you are going to get the Express Unlimited Pass. Disney does not do that. You get 3 fast passes in advance. They can only be at one park, and you cannot get them over and over again for a tier 1 ride, which Harry Potter rides would be at Universal. And you have to book them in advance. If you have this Express Unlimited Pass, it's a high value thing because you're going to be front of the line for every ride you want to ride as many times as you want every single day. So you do, that doesn't mean you won't wait. I mean, it's kind of like a fast pass at Disney. Just because you got a fast pass doesn't mean you're not going to wait a little bit in the fast pass line. Same thing with this. There's going to be other people who have this pass, so you're going to wait a little bit, but it's not as much as what the standby queue is for the ride. So here's the thing. That particular feature, if you're staying at one of the value hotels, which is either Sapphire Falls, Cabana Bay, or the new Aventura Hotel, if you're staying at one of those, you do not get the unlimited express pass with your stay. If you want to add it on, it is $89 per person per night. So if we factor that in and book you at Royal Pacific instead, it's usually cheaper or the same amount, or it's a better deal to be at the luxury hotel because you'll get that unlimited express pass included. So just so you know, something to consider. If you are an on-site guest of a Universal Resort, you do not pay any cover charges for the clubs in Orlando City Walk, Universal City Walk. And there are several. The other thing I was going to tell you about that I thought was really cool that I didn't know about when I was at this training was if you are using the Tapu Tapu, which is almost like a magic band, but just for Volcano Bay. It's waterproof, and you wear it, and you tap in at a ride, and it tells you your wait time to come back. It's like a virtual line queue. And so all their new rides have this. The Jimmy Fallon ride, Race Through New York at Universal Studios has this, and the new Fast and Furious Supercharged ride, which is supposed to open sometime this spring, will also have this. So you take your ticket, you tap in, you get a ride time, and you come back later and ride the ride. So you're not standing there in line in a queue. It's a virtual queue. Well, all of Volcano Bay is the virtual queue. So they give you this bracelet. It's called a Tapu Tapu, and you wear it while you're there. You can link it to your Universal Orlando app, and you can link a credit card to your app, and then that way you can make charges with it. You can open your locker with it. You can get photo opportunities with it that will link to your photo package if you have the photo package. And then also you can pay for your food that way. If you have dining credits, you can use it there at Volcano Bay. And then if you are wanting to do some fun little water interactive things, they also work with the Tapu Tapu. Now, some people were worried about this because you turn in the Tapu Tapu before you leave the park, so you don't keep it. So some people were like, oh my gosh, is it sanitary? And so what they told me that I thought was interesting is those Tapu Tapus are washed 3 times before being used again in like this really high-tech sanitary wash that they use. And they also have kid size. So that's good to know as well. The most popular ride at Volcano Bay is the magnetic water coaster, the Krakatoa water coaster. That's the one you want to use your Tapu Tapu on first. It's magnetic. It's really cool. Universal Orlando Resort is building 2 more hotels. They will both be value hotels in the line of Cabana Bay and Aventura. And they are going to be finished in 2020 and 2021. They're being built on the old Wet and Wild property. So you know that Universal, when it was building Volcano Bay, it tore down all of Wet and Wild's water park. And so they're building these 2 new hotels where Wet and Wild used to be. They'll be done in 2020 and 2021. There will be over 2,600 rooms. All of them will be less than $100 a night. Now, what we've noticed about this lately is that a lot of people are wanting to book a split stay. So they're wanting to book a couple of nights at Universal Orlando Resort at a hotel there, and then they're going to go over to Disney or vice versa. So that is definitely something I can do for you. And let's talk about what they do. They have a company that they work with called Quick Transport, and they do these transports for you. Let me get the official name. Take Two. Okay, so they're called Take Two transfers. And the way it works is it's $42 for an adult, $33 for kids ages 4 to 11. And they were specifically invented, and they are only bookable through a travel agent. So if I'm booking your Orlando Resort side of this is where I add it. They will get you either from Orlando International Airport to your Universal Resort, and then from that resort to your Walt Disney World Resort, or You take the Magical Express to your Walt Disney World Resort. You stay there. Then when you're ready to go to your Universal Orlando Resort, they will pick you up at your Walt Disney World Resort, take you to your Universal Orlando Resort room. And then from there, when you're done with that stay, they will take you back to MCO, Orlando International Airport. That is a really good deal. We've had lots of clients in our agency use this service and they really like it. So just so you know, if you're wanting to do that split stay, if you've got older kids, if you've got kids that are the right age for Universal, which is 42 inches, if you've got kids that age and they're wanting to see Harry Potter, or you're wanting a little bit more relaxing theme park vacation, because Universal Orlando closes their parks earlier than Disney does. And then you could go to City Walk and stuff and walk around, and they have water taxis to and from those areas from the luxury hotels. It's a very relaxing resort stay. So I would say if you're going to do a split stay, go to Walt Disney World first. So let us book that one for you first. You'll take the Magical Express from the airport to Walt Disney World. Then we'll get you a Take-Two transfer, and you will go from Walt Disney World when that stay is over to Universal Orlando Resort, and then from there to the airport when you're done with that stay. Totally doable. Really great idea. A great way to see both, and then a great way to get back and forth between the two. So Universal created this because they know Disney is the original in Orlando. They wouldn't be there if Disney didn't exist. So they are working with you. If you want to have a split stay, I'll book the two packages separately, but we'll also book this Take-Two transfer for you to get back and forth between the two resorts. And to me, that's a really great, affordable option to do that. So that's something they talked about, which I thought was wonderful. They're working on their technology, and they eventually want to have everything on their app. So either tickets, everything. Eventually, they all want it to be app driven, technology driven, because they said, we know Disney World is magic bands, but we also noticed that people are still holding their phone in the other hand. So they may use their magic band to tap in, to their fast passes and things like that at Walt Disney World, but they still have their phones. So they want to make everything phone driven at Universal. So everything is going to be on their app, within their app, accessible by the app. And that's their goal as they move forward. So it's just very interesting. They kind of learn from what Disney does, and they improve upon it in a lot of areas. There's still a lot of things they're still working out. They're still fairly new. And especially a lot of these hotels and parks and things are new. But what you need to know is, they told us this while we were there, Nintendo Land is currently being built at Universal Orlando Resort and will be done sometime in 2019 or 2020. They build their stuff fast. So sometime in 2019 or 2020, Nintendo World will be an option for you at Universal Orlando Resort. I see that as a must-do. If you don't like Harry Potter, everybody likes Nintendo. I mean, Super Mario will be part of it. There'll be the pipes, that you use in the Super Mario game to port through the different worlds or whatever. They'll have the pipes there that you can even go in. I mean, it is going to be so cool. And it's already opened in Tokyo. It's already opened in Japan. So you can kind of see what it's going to be like. But any Nintendo fans are going to want to go to this. They're going to have rides based on Super Mario, Mario Kart, different things like that. They're going to be the newest technology. So you're definitely going to want to do that. I think in the near future, a lot of people, especially with kids who are old enough for Universal, which is 42 inches, I think most people are going to want to do a split stay, especially when all that stuff opens. So now you know how we can get you from one side to the other. So just wanted to tell you about that. There's lots of other stuff I took notes on, but that's more for my clients. Once they book, I know what I can get them and not get them, and what we want to do. Strategy-wise, but those highlights I just wanted to mention from my training on Thursdays. So thank you so much for listening, for bearing with me. I know this is a very long news show, but this one needed to be. There was a lot of news that broke this week. If you missed our parking lot discussion at parking charges at Walt Disney World Resort's discussion, you need to go back and watch the video. If you missed seeing my new puppy, Yoda, you need to go back and watch the video. And if you missed this Universal conversation we just had, then you need to go back and watch the video. There was a lot of really good news tonight. So just wanted to make sure I got it all for you. And that is it. So thank you so much for listening. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Share this with your friends so that they know that if they're wanting to book at Walt Disney World Resorts and they're going to be driving and they don't want to pay for parking, we need to get them booked by March 20th. March 20th, because starting March 21st, they will be paying for parking. So just want to let you know that. Talk to you again next week. Bye.